What do we know this Thursday morning? Arsenal centre-back Gabriel will be sidelined for at least a month. He'll miss games against Spurs, Bayern and Chelsea. They've got plenty of cover, haven't they?
They've got another 50 players. They'll be fine, Jim. No problem.
Troy Deeney has gone after Steve McClaren after he resigned as Jamaica boss after their failure to qualify for the World Cup, at least at the first attempt. He said, I like Steve. If you're going to resign straight after a game, and apparently it's emotional, then you can't be reading off a sheet of paper.
Yes.
You can't be reading a script.
I found that odd, Jeff.
Yeah.
The reading off a piece of paper, like, it's just come from your heart, what you've been through, your experience, and how you're leaving. The way he was picking the paper up and looking at it, I'm like, did you do that after the game when you had half an hour to write a few notes?
I think the only thing is that you want to get it right. You want to say the right things.
Yeah.
You know, if this is your farewell speech, you don't want to take a misstep. Troy likes a headline anyway, doesn't he? Let's be brutally honest. I can say that now because he's in the States, so it's okay. He's not listening, I hope. And with Bournemouth's Antoine Semenyo having a £65 million release clause in his contract, former Liverpool midfielder Danny Murphy thinks he should choose Anfield as his next destination.
I'd say yes, because he's obviously not a big fan of Chiesa. The strength of Liverpool last year, really, I mean, Diaz, who played a lot of games centre forward, but Diaz played his best stuff off the left, and they didn't really replace him. Jota could play wide on occasion when he needed to. And if you're thinking about Salah and you're thinking right side long term, Semenyo's equally happy on the right as he is on the left. You've got African nations coming up if you wanted to try and get him in January. Chiesa can play on the right and Frimpong can, but I don't think Slot fancies either of them to play that position. I may be wrong with Frimpong. Maybe we've seen him play there once, and he struggled a bit on the night when he played there. So, do they need him? Yes. They could certainly. He'd enhance their forward line for sure.
Well, he'll be plenty of offers, there's no question about that, because he's had a fantastic, season and a half. You would say Liverpool, Gab, aren't having enough problems trying to bed in the signings they've made in the summer?
They are, but I do agree with Danny in the sense of they haven't replaced Diaz. Diaz is a massive loss to Liverpool, an outstanding player for them, been an outstanding season so far at Bayern Munich. But I just love Semenyo. I think he fits into any team in the Premier League. I really do, Jeff. This season so far, 11 games, 6 goals, 3 assists. But he can play off the right, he can play off the left. He's quick. He can score every type of goal. He's strong as well, so he's not going to get bullied off the ball. I love watching him, and I think when I heard that 60 million release clause, I was like, oh, Bournemouth, it's not looking good.
No, it's not, but the only thing I would say is he might be loving life at Bournemouth. You know, he's got years to come.
I think the release clause has been put in there because he signed a new contract in the summer for a
possibly.
reason.
Yeah, possibly. But with Bournemouth maybe he felt at that stage Bournemouth have sold some absolute star players that they would struggle this season, but they haven't.
No, 100%. But you'll also maybe look at like where Howson's gone.
Yeah,
Kirkes, double your money, maybe triple your money, some of them. Maybe he's looking at that and saying, I'll sign a new contract, but release clause allows me to go and fulfill my dreams. I think he'll fit in at Arsenal as well. There's so many clubs he could fit in at, Jeff. He's a top player. Yeah. Love watching him play.
Very talented player indeed. Would he fit in at Villa?
I think I'd love to have him, mate, yeah, but unfortunately, Jeff, I think he'll be looking at bigger clubs than us.
Oh, okay.
I can be honest.
Premier League's back, of course, this weekend. Leeds against Villa, that's a big game, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Actually, well, for both sides, but more in a lot of ways for Daniel Farke's team, because he's clearly under pressure. And we talked at the start of the season, didn't we, about how essential it was for Leeds to win their home games if they were going to stay up. They've only lost once at home, and that was against Tottenham.
They have to look at this game as well, Jeff, of, okay, we have to win this game.
Yeah.
Yes, Aston Villa are in great form, but if you win this game on the weekend, you play play after Newcastle. If Newcastle lose to Man City, Leeds win, you go 3 points ahead of Newcastle, and you're under pressure.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think important game and up-and-coming home games, like you said, they have to get results. They have to. And make it a fortress. Make it a horrible game if you're Leeds.
I mean, they've got
Make it messy.
a really tough run of games coming up at the moment, and this is the first of them. And the question, and I'm sorry for sounding like a broken record, but when it comes to Leeds, the question always has to be, who is going to score the goals? Top goal scorer's got 2 so far this season, and I feel for Daniel Farke because he doesn't seem to have the options available.
He doesn't have the options, but he does have 3 strikers, doesn't he? But he doesn't really know which one's his best one. He keeps trying different strikers out. None of them are really performing. You look at Dan James, he's starting on the bench now. Aronson's got his place on that right-hand side. Can Longstaff come in with more goals? They need more goals from all over the pitch. Their centre-half, Roden, is their joint top goal scorer with 2 goals, which says everything.
Yeah, I mean, they invested something like £100 million in the summer. But their strikers, Dominic Calvert-Lewin came in on a free. Nemecha came in on a free as well. I just wonder whether they got their priorities wrong.
If you don't score goals, good Jeff, you've got no chance, especially in the Premier League, because a team like Leeds, Burnley, they're always going to concede goals. The level's gone up. And Calvert-Lewin, 1 goal, hasn't hit the heights that maybe Leeds would like. Found himself on the bench recently. So they've got problems, and maybe in January they might have a bit of money to try and solve that striker problem, like Everton will want to do.
Yeah.
So many teams need a top number 9.
Yeah. They're hard to find at the best of times, but in January, whoa,
all the best.
They are gold dust, aren't they? And Villa flying, of course, won 5 of the last 6 league games. Don't forget, Premier League returning here. We'll have you covered right here on talkSPORT. We kick off with Burnley against Chelsea. Saturday lunchtime. Adrian Durham will take you around the grounds for all the goals in the 3 o'clock kickoffs as well. And Game Day Live will come from the Emirates for the North London derby. Can Spurs cause... What do you think? Can Spurs cause an upset?
I think they can.
Do you?
Spurs are at home, aren't they?
No, Spurs are away.
Spurs are away. Ooh. No Gabriel. I think I fancy Arsenal at the Emirates for sure.
Spurs away record, better than their home record, though, at the moment.
I think it'll be a tight game, though.
Yeah.
I don't see it being like a 3-0, 3-1. I feel like Arsenal will win, but it'll be a tight game. Someone like Eze, Saka, the form that they're in, especially for England as well.
Yeah.
Won't surprise me if they're the difference.
Yeah. Might be settled by a set play. Sorry. No, don't. I haven't got any texts this morning, so you can text what you want to. I'm only joking, okay? It doesn't matter whether you win by a set play or not.